knows, the format changed this year as we went to our first designated studio teacher of the year. And I have to say that the amount of voting increased tremendously, because the people that were nominated on this were tremendous teachers. I have on the tables, you have their bios, and I'm not going to read those bios. I think that probably most of you have, because I think most of you voted, which was really exciting. We have a couple of teachers, that aren't here today, and one is Stephen Ships from Ann Arbor, from the University of Michigan, was not able to make it, but his nominator was Melissa Connect, and I think Melissa's here, you know. Also, Jack Budrow from Michigan State University was nominated, and his nominator is also here, and that's Aaron Tinney. And Judy Palick in a way too. I think you were involved with that a little bit. And then we do have two that are here. We have Mildred Gregorian. Would you stand up? And Connie Weiner. Stand up. And we're glad you guys are here, and we're glad you do what you do. It's amazing the amount of impact that a studio teacher has on a student. I mean, when you think back to your own career as teachers, I've had a lot of teachers, but the ones that I remember are those studio teachers. I remember my teacher. You know, that was my teacher. Who do you study with? My teacher is the studio teacher, not who's directing your orchestra, or not who's your teacher. My teacher, right? And you guys have impacted students on levels that you really, I'm sure you know this, but I mean it will change their lives, and it will change our profession to have people like you, these wonderful studio teachers. So I'm really excited, and our winner this year, by not much, but by our winner, was Mr. Jack Budrow. He would have loved to have been here, but he's playing in an opera today, and he couldn't get out of it. So I thought that an appropriate thing to do to kind of talk about Jack a little bit is to have one of those people that were in his studio. This is Aaron, and he's going to talk a little bit about Jack.
Where do I begin? But I must say, there's one person in my life who has probably made the biggest influence. It's been Jack Budrow. I can honestly say that I would not be here as a music educator if it were not for Jack Budrow. I've known Jack for over, well, close to 20 years now. And I've known him since high school. When I was in high school, I auditioned for Michigan State, and I was dead set to be a performance major. I had no desire to teach, ever. Not at all. And my parents said, no, I'm going to send you to be one of those performance majors. So, talking to Jack took the time to spend hours on the phone with my parents, telling them that he would personally see to it that I was successful, that he would not rest unless he knew that he was taking care of me, their son. So, I go to Michigan State, and dead set to be a performance major, but he's like, nope, you are going to be an education major, and you are going to thank me for it someday. Well, I'm getting emotional. I thank him for it, because it is what I love, it is what I love doing, and if it was not for Jack Budrow, and just an influence he's had in my life, I remember he is the type of teacher who, after a lesson, be like, let's go get some dinner, we'll talk about life. When my wife and I were getting married and we needed some advice, who did we go to? Jack Budrow. He is like a father to me. He is the father-in-law to my wife, and I just can't say enough about what an influence he's had in my life. I sent him an email the other Thanksgiving thanking him for being such an influence-making factor. He's like, "What? I just taught you lessons. What did I do?" I said, "Really?" I do what I do. Why are you thanking me? I didn't do anything. And I said, "Jack, that is exactly why I'm thankful for you, because you have set the example of what it means to be an outstanding teacher and a humble teacher. And I thank you, everyone here, for helping me recognize Jack Budrow as the Teacher of the Year for Michigan." Thank you.